Assalamu alaikum. My name is Furqan Qadri and I'm from section 15 of RESM course. And today I'll be presenting to you the high fidelity mock-up prototype of our project, which is part of alternative assessment. That is, and the name of the project is LOE online portal. These are my details, my matric number, section, my team. So coming to the introduction, basically we are supposed to make a system for LOE. LOE is a preschool which caters to various needs of special children. So they wanted an online portal which is robust and which would help them to manage the daily activities in LOE. This includes the registration of the students, the payment, etc. And they also wanted some additional features in the portal, and we also wanted to give them some additional features which they would really use to better serve the patients. The system that we've developed, it aims to cater to all the basics, and it has also delivered some delighting features to the stakeholders, like tracking the assessment of child. And these are the stakeholders. We have also kept the UI UX techniques in mind while designing the project. So the goals of the system include to have a common platform for the staff and the students to do all the activities like registration. Basically, sometimes the staff at LOE, they use apps, external apps like Google Forms, and basically all of this gets very, it's unorganized. So in order to give them some organization, we actually wanted to give them a common platform in the form of this service. So if you look at the overall user interface of the so if you look at the overall UI flow of the system, and specifically we have and this is the specific use case for this is my use case: filling the form, payment, and then the tracking assessment. The use case that was assigned to me was basically 010, which includes the tracking the assessment of the child. So the specification is something like this. Basically, it actually helps the parents to get their child through a proper assessment so that the IEP can be prepared by the LOE staff. So if we look at the precondition, is that the parent, of course, must have filled the interest showing form, which is form M1, and then he has to fill the form M3. Then the payment for the assessment has to be successfully made for 1 month. Then the instructors at LOE will begin to record the child's behavior, and then the weekly updates of the child's assessment will be uploaded to the portal, and it will have parameters like responsiveness, agility, understanding, and all of these they will also be given with comments. And after 4 weeks, the progress of every week is shown in a document. Like, it will be compiled in a document and will be shown, and then the IEP will be prepared. So we have some alternative flows. If the parents are disinterested at any stage, the admin will delete the information from the system. And the exception is that if the parent asks for some time before making the payment, the LOE can give them 1 month. And if they're still not paid, the team will cancel it. The second is that the parents did not fill the form M3, so we will give them a reminder to do that, and if they still have not filled it, then the details will be removed. And here at the bottom we have some functional requirements and some quality requirements as well, so according to the priority. For the diagrams, this is the sequence diagram of my use case. We have the child, the instructor, the parent. We can see the payment here, the assessment being done, and the form M3 being filled. So as you can see, this parent, he actually fills the form and he gets the form back, and then he submits it. And similarly in the payment, he enters the payment, he's shown the full payment, the details of the payment, and then he actually approves of sees the results in that, and then he finally pays it. As for the child, basically he or she goes through the process. And for the activity diagram, it's fairly simple. Parents go to the portal and they enter the password, they fill the form M3, and they make the payment, and the assessment starts. So that's basically it. Uh, Here's my self-reflection for the RSM course. So I think requirements engineering is very important as a software engineer because it helps you to know about the various aspects of what it actually takes to elicit the requirements from the stakeholders. Because we read in RESM course that if the requirements are not clear, the project will most likely fail. So I learned about various elicitation techniques like interviews, surveys, apprenticeship, and how to implement them. And we also learned about about how to delight the customers by providing your services to them, providing some additional services to them using Kano classification, and then how to do the SRS documentation, and also how to demonstrate the flow of the system using various diagrams like activity diagram, sequence diagram, etc. So overall, I would say I got a lot of benefit from this course, and the course lecturer, Dr. Noriani, was also quite supportive and gave us some real life examples and reports to enhance our understanding of the RSM course. As for the high fidelity prototype, it was something that I had not done before, and I did it for the first time in this course. So it does actually help to finalize the requirements, since you can show the prototype and you can get the feedback and do the corrections in the prototype before actually making it to the production. And if there are some issues with the prototype, you can correct them there, and it will save a lot of cost. Otherwise, you'll have to correct it uh, in the production. So again, Kano classification is used even in the implementation. So we added some features which are basic, which are required by the stakeholders. Some which are satisfiers, that if they're there, it will give them delight, but if they're not there, so they'll not be happy. And some delightful features that they did not expect, but they are still there and quite useful in the system. And the last reflection that I can say that about the experience of gaining from prototyping is that I learned how to actually change something which is on paper to something which you can show to the stakeholders. And documentation is very important, but to have a visual look at the product that you are going to deliver to the stakeholders is very important. So in that aspect, I would say it helped me. The prototyping helped me a lot to cover that aspect of software engineering as well. So now let us go to the demo. We look at the class diagram over here. We can see that there is a form M3 first, then you have to make the payment, and then you will be able to assess. These are part of my use cases. So the data from this form 3 has actually been taken from the data that was provided to us. So this is the form 3, and this has the information, and this is what we have implemented in our prototype as well. So let's actually go to the prototype itself now. So this is the prototype here. As you can see, this is the first page, and this has the details from the form M3. So details about the child, these are all the details that it asks for. So let me start from the top. So here the name of the parent, the logo, last login time, the home, the course details, the tracking assessment feature, profile. So first of all, these are the setup. So you have the form M3, you have the payment, you have the tracking assessment, and you have the decision. So you have to first fill the form M3. The parent has to fill the form, and you can also parent can also upload stuff to this portal. And once the first page is done, you can click save and next. And now we will go to the second page. I've kept the data here for demonstration purposes the same as the previous one, but it'll actually be different. So here is the experience, child rearing age, and this is like on another set of questions. The parent can even go back actually using this button here. So if he feels that there's something that he entered incorrectly, and then he or she can go back here, and then if we click on save next, again we go, and now the payment details will be shown. So as you can see, child ID, the total amount, the duration of the assessment, the due date would also be shown, and basically the payment method is it would be asked, so the parent can pay using credit card, debit card, net banking is also given as an option. Then the boost wallet can also be chosen, and these are basically the attributes of payment. So next the parent selects, let's say, credit card, and he does the payment via an external entity, I mean using an external interface, and then you can proceed to payment. So once the payment is done, the parent will be shown the screen. So payment is successful. You have now set up the tracking assessment feature, and you can see the progress of your child from the first week. And now the tracking will actually start. So let us see how that is. So this is basically the tracking screen. So here we have the information tag. So this will let the parents know about what basically this tracking assessment is, and this is the performance of the first week. Is the performance of the first week, like we can show the skills. These are the skills, and these are the results that have been input by the instructor, and the overall performance of the child is satisfactory in the first week of assessment, and the parent can also do a summary. So then in the next week it will be available. These are the skills of the child, and these are the results. So the overall performance here, as you can see, room for improvement. There's also a meter over here which shows it. And then let's say that a week has passed. So here you can see the week 3, 15 July to 21st of July, and the skills here along with the comments from the instructor at LOE, overall performance. And then finally, when the fourth week is over, you will be able to see the performance of the fourth week as a parent, and you will also be able to download the overall summary of the project. So this gives a very good idea for the parent, and next you can also then proceed to make a decision. So that was all from me for the prototype demo. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much.